We're delighted now to be joined on the podcast by O'Donovan Rossa captain Laura O'Mahony, just days after the county intermediate final win against Neva Bawn. Has it hit you yet, Laura, that Skibbereen are going senior?
Definitely not, I'd say. Obviously, we're still on the high from winning and everything, but I think the realization that we'll be playing up senior next year still hasn't really kicked in.
This is a remarkable story. Like, I want to go back to 2018 first. That's when Skibbereen won the Junior C county final. I think you were still in secondary school in Skibbereen back then, were you? And like the
Yeah,
thing
I was.
I think of the journey from Dinlara from 2018 to now from a junior C team to becoming a senior side in 2025. Like it's just been with fairy tale stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I think even I've spoke to you about this before, where when we were junior C, our ultimate aim really was to get to junior A football. I'll never forget Derek Tobin. He was our coach at the time, and he was always like, I believe that you can get to be a junior A team. And if only he knew and we knew, I suppose that we've gone a bit further now than that.
It's just like I said, it's been a remarkable run these last couple of years. This was your fifth county final in a row against Neva Bawn last Sunday in Clodove, and it was such a tight game. But you think like you won by a point in the end, but the journey that you've been on, how much of a role has that had to play in you getting over a game like this?
I'd say it's played a massive part, to be honest. Especially even if I just pick out the All Ireland final from last year. We were down a few points against Clare Morris with only a few minutes left, and I think we stuck together and we dug it out as a team. And again, last Sunday was very similar in that we got late few scores and we managed the last 10 minutes really well.
Like that journey you've been on, like you mentioned last year, that's when the Skibbereen team won County, Munster, and All Ireland junior titles, and that opened the door to intermediate where you campaigned this year. But like you said there was some huge games along the way. So in terms of experience, this group is developing and maturing all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Even if I go back to the Munster final, even last year, it was kind of the same as the All Ireland. And I think like close games, you learn a lot more from them as opposed to winning them well. Obviously winning well is a good sign as well. But like I think when you properly dig out a win and when you're under stress and difficult conditions, I think it always stands to you a bit more.
Could you sense it on the pitch so last Sunday when Neva Bawn went 3 points up, but I think it was 10, 11 minutes to go. Like you didn't panic at all. Could you see it in the team looking around the pitch saying, okay, we've been here before, we know what to do?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, it was in the back of my mind almost. I was like, oh no, is that it? But at the same time, I don't know why I thought that because it's not like we haven't been in positions like that before. And I think especially the other girls really, really stood up on the day. Ava got a few frees and it was when we showed our most composure, I think. And for her to kick over that last free under pressure for a 17-year-old, I don't know how she does it.
Describe that emotion. So right at the end when the whistle blew and you were crowned county intermediate champions. I know you're getting used to that winning feeling over the years, but what did it feel like on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it was probably one of the most special ones to date. Obviously, the more you keep winning, like you said, it is contagious. But like I just still can't believe that we actually have got over the line and we've made it to the senior level. And I think that's why it's probably so special. You know, like again, it's something that when the club started out in 2010, that it was probably the ultimate aim, I suppose, the ultimate goal. And the fact now that uh, nearly 14 years later that we've done it, I think it's incredible.
As we were chatting just before we started recording, and I'd gone through the stats of the last two seasons, Laura, and you've won 19 out of 20 championship games, and the only game that you lost was to Valleys in the group stage this year. And we were chatting just before the county final, and you were telling me that you felt that was the game that kind of kickstarted your season. There was a game where after you lost that by a point, you're like, okay, we have to pull up our socks here. Did you feel that was a kind of defining moment in your season?
100%, yeah. Like I said, I think you learn a lot more from your losses as opposed to your wins. It kind of was an eye opener, like you said, that if we really wanted to compete and bring up our standards like we want to, then we had to improve in the next few games. And I think we went out the following week against Ross and we put in a really good performance. And then we've been building on that since in the last few weeks. So I think in one sense we have to give it to Valleys as well that they've almost helped us get over the line because like they kickstarted our determination this year nearly.
Talk to me about the momentum and the feeling within the squad right now. You must feel like, I don't want to say invincible, but like it's just you're on such an incredible run. It must be such fun going to training and hanging out with the girls and just playing the games. Like it must be just a great environment to be in right now.
Definitely. And I think obviously winning always brings that sense of community into it as well. But yeah, like you said, like the fact that we get to go to training now again tomorrow, like we are grateful for that, and we're privileged to get that opportunity because not many teams do get that at this time of year. So obviously we have to realize the position we're in now and just grab it with both opportunities or both
Mentioned
hands.
that sense of community, Laura. I think that's so important. Like this team we saw it last year really connected with the kind of the Skibbereen community. Even the last Dinkla Dove, a full stand there to cheer you on. Like, what was it like to look out and see so many familiar faces kind of there to support you again?
Yeah, I'll never stop singing the praises of our supporters because they'd honestly travel the length and breadth of the place for us. Like I heard that there was tailbacks of cars all along going into Clodagh GA, and just to know that like even and it wasn't the best of days either, and the fact that they'd come out, young and old to support us, and they honestly want us to do well, and like knowing that they want us to do well and that they're rooting for us, it means so much.
And the season's not finished. You're going into Munster in intermediate campaign. I think it's Scarta again from Kerry. You're playing in early November, and that's at home in Skibbereen, is it right?
Yeah.
So how much looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that now. Obviously, I think they lost the intermediate final last year, as far as I know. So they'll obviously be delighted to win intermediate like ourselves, but I'd say they'll be a very good side, and we'll have to have one of our best performances again to try get over the line against them.
You're almost pinching yourself again, Laura. Here we are, October, and you're looking forward to another Munster campaign. You've another county medal in your back pocket. It's kind of there's so many similarities to last year. Like this, like I said, this fairy tale story just keeps on giving.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think, like I said earlier, I'm so grateful for to be in this position because, not everyone gets to say that they're playing football at this time of year, that they've won an All Ireland with their club or a Munster with their club, or even that they can play in a Munster campaign with their club. So the fact that I get to do it 2 years in a row and that I get to do it with the same girls that we did with last year and the same management and the same supporters, it's just stuff of dreams, really.
And you're captain this year. What's it like to be captain of this group? Had you a speech prepared before the game the last year? Was it all? Did you kind of anything like that, or what was your preparation like before the match?
I didn't want to jinx anything, we'll say, but yeah, like I suppose captain is just a title at the end of the day, like I'm just as important as the rest of the other girls out, the 1 to 30. We're all just as important as each other. And like I said, captain is just the title that some person has to take. And in the end of the day, I think we're all leaders, and that's what's getting us over the line as well. We've leaders in the backs and leaders in the forward, no matter what age we are. So I think that we all have the confidence and the friendship, really, that we're so close that that's helping us communicate better on the pitch as well.
Before I let you go, I have to ask you about the O'Donovan Rossa defense. I was looking at the stats there. I think just conceding 8 points a game in your first season up intermediate. Again, after defining the last year, James O'Donovan singled out the Rossa backs. How important are they just to give you that platform to go and do what you do?
Oh, 100%. I think especially in the last 10 minutes when they got the goal, we could have panicked, and even I kicked away a few balls in that last 10 minutes trying to high ball in just to get something out of it. But every single time the ball was turned over and the Naval girls started attacking, our backs were the ones in the end of the day, and Ella Hayes in goal too, that turned it back over for us to get up the pitch as well and get those scores. So even though us as forwards and midfields are getting scores and our name is on the end of the article, will say at the end of the day it's the girls in the back that are stopping the other team from scoring too, and they're just as important, if not more important.
Now, this has been a real team effort to get you where you are. So you're heading up to the senior ranks in 2025, but before that, you've the intermediate in Munster. So the best of luck with that, Laura, and congrats again on your latest success.
Thanks a million, Kieran, and thanks for having me as well.